Taylor Swift, she's the biggest artist in music, and it's not even close. She proved it once again with her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. We'll talk about some of the records that she just absolutely smashed this week. But first, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel ESKO Let's Go and hit the bell, turn on those notifications so you don't miss any new content. I'm ESKO Let's Go. Of course, it's all about Taylor Swift this week. She's the GOAT, man. There's no doubt about it. Don't even compare anyone else to her, okay? Because nobody is doing what she's doing. 4 million. 4 million the first week for her album, The Life of a Showgirl. The most all time in Billboard 200 history, okay? That means nobody else has had a bigger debut week for an album than Taylor Swift did with The Life of a Showgirl. Hits Daily Double, they put it out today. She's going to sell a little bit over 4 million, which is like unbelievable. We know she passed Adele's record, which was 3.5 million when she hit that mark. But now 4 million? Insane. In 2025, think about that. This is 20 years into her career, and she's having the biggest album sales week ever in her career. 20 years in. Like, think about other artists that are 20 years in. Are they having this kind of success? No, it's only Taylor Swift. She's one of one. Why? You got to give it up to the Swifties, dude. The Swifties have definitely carried Taylor Swift, and I really think the Eras Tour just expanded that Swiftie Nation, dude. Because I know people that went to the Eras Tour. You know, they may have took their kids, or they went with friends, or, you know, they were kind of a Taylor Swift fan, or they just wanted to be a part of the cultural movement that it was, because it was like the biggest thing happening when it was taking place. And when they saw her perform for 3 hours, and they saw the spectacle and the crowd and the energy and just the excitement around the whole Eras Tour, it's like they became like diehard Swifties. So I think definitely the Eras Tour had a huge part in this album being as big as it is, The Life of a Showgirl. Also, I think Taylor Swift, the fact that she announced it on her boyfriend's podcast and said that it was a pop album. We know the Tortured Poets Department, different album, had all them songs on it. It was more showing off her poetry and songwriting and stuff like that. And, didn't have as many pop bangers as this album. So when she came out and said, yo, I'm dropping a pop album, I'm doing it with Max Martin, it's going to be all bangers, I think that got a lot of people excited and a lot of people interested in tuning in to hear this new album. And also, this album is only 12 songs. It's not like 30-something like the Tortured Poets Department. 12 songs, so that's a lot of replay value. I know when I listened to it, I was like, oh, it's over. I was like, let me play it again. So there's a lot of replay value to the album as far as streaming's concerned, but how she really did it was just straight up sales to her fans. I think on the first day she sold 2.7 million copies. 2.7 million copies of her album. The first day. So that's like people actually buying physical copies, whether it's CD, vinyls, cassettes. I don't know who still listens to cassettes, but you know what? Shout out to you. Maybe they just want the collector's item. But yeah, that was the first day she already did 2.7 million. That would have been the biggest of the year by far. And one of the biggest weekly first week debuts, period, doing 2.7 million. Just on day one, you know what I mean? So she continued to sell throughout the week. She got the streaming numbers to go along with it, and that's how she hit that 4 million mark, which is just like unbelievable, dude. So, shout out to the Swifties, dude. They definitely pulled through for her, and I know she's super excited about it. Man, it's crazy. I know a lot of people are talking about, oh, she's releasing all these different variants of the album. The truth is, like, that's called marketing. It's called marketing, people, okay? That's what it is. Smart marketing. Everyone is jealous of her. If everyone could do what Taylor Swift does, they would do it, okay? They can't. It's just her. She's one of one, all right? So every artist wants to sell as much as she does. Everyone wants to have 4 million. Everyone wants to sell 1,000 copies, and thousands and thousands of copies, but they can't do it. It's just Taylor. It's her. It's her fan base, 20 years of fans and still growing. And another thing too about like all those different type of albums she's putting out, or different variations of it with album comes all that. We don't know how, like if anybody even bought those. Okay, she's just putting it out there. Maybe some people bought them, but that's probably not what drove all the sales. All those different variants and whatnot. You know what I mean? We never get to see like how much each one of those actually sells. And you know what? She's not making her fans spend the money. The people, her fans are willingly paying for these different albums if they really want them. Again, like every artist wants a fan base like the Swifties. This is what it's about, man. This is why she became a billionaire. You know, she's a billionaire strictly off her music and touring. No other side gigs, none of that. Or who knows? You know how much she loves sourdough. Maybe she'll come up with a sourdough, uh, a bread side gig. But for now, it's all based on music and touring. So this is her baby. This is what she loves to do. She did multiple interviews this week, and I think it was with Late Night with Seth Meyers. She said, "Hey, this is all I have. This is music. This is the one thing that I do. I do music. That's it." So she's able to just concentrate and pour all her energy into making these albums, coming up with ideas for the rollouts, the marketing, promoting the album. This is what she does 100% of the time. And all her hard work paid off this week. 4 million. Unbelievable. Cheers to Taylor Swift, no doubt about it. Her doing so good this first week is also great news just for the music business in general, because a lot of talk this year has been about how music is just down. I think there's certain genres and certain pockets have done well, but there hasn't been that massive explosion or that massive breakout into all genres and just dominating the entire conversation until now, until Taylor Swift. So, you know, it just goes to show that yes, music isn't dead. It is possible to sell millions of records the first week. Now the thing is like there's only one person doing it, but it is possible. Who else can do it? I have no clue. It doesn't feel like anybody else can do it right now. Will somebody else do it in the future? I would never say never, but you just got to appreciate that Taylor is again one of one, and I think um, she's just the artist that people care about. That's what it is. I think that's what it is. We have so much. It's not even just music. We have so much stuff at our fingertips with our phones, entertainment wise. We could listen to anything we want to. We could watch anything we want to whenever we want to watch it. So, in order for us to care about a new album or a new artist or somebody to listen to music wise, it's got to be very important to pull us away from everything else we can do. So Taylor Swift, she is the sun. She pulls everybody in. She pulls everybody in. The one artist that pulls everybody in, that gets everybody's attention, and everyone has to listen because people feel like they're missing out. That's how I explain a lot of stuff as far as like how I pick music for radio too. I program a radio station. I listen to songs. The number one rule is does it sound good? Number one. That's how I base everything. Does it sound good? Because we're in the audio business, right? If it doesn't sound good, people ain't gonna listen to it, flat out. You know what I mean? And then number two, who is the artist, right? Is this person a superstar? Do people care about this person? You know what I mean? And obviously, people care about Taylor Swift. So, and it's like another thing is like, am I missing out if I don't play this song? Am I missing out? Can I survive without playing this song? If I'm not really into it, that's an important thing. And I think Taylor, um, she definitely makes people feel like they're missing out if they don't listen to her album. I mean, they see all the videos on social media. They see everybody talking it. You see her on every talk show. She's everywhere to be seen this week, and people feel like, hey, you know what? I'm missing out if I don't listen to this Taylor Swift album. Now, a lot of crazy old opinions came out about this album this week. I mean, hey, even Taylor said she's not the art police. Go ahead and fire off those opinions. She said it's good as long as people are talking about it. That's the first rule of entertainment, good or bad. As long as they're saying her name and naming her album, that's a good sign for her. I think she did exactly what she wanted to do with this album. I mean, if you listen to her talk about the album, she's very happy with the final product of it, and that's what you want. And I think that's also why she has that diehard fan base too, because they know that she cares. She cares about the music. She cares about what she's making, and she's gonna be just honest. She's gonna tell you what's going on in her life. Every album, it's different. The stories are different. They may seem similar, but they are different. Like this album, I feel is like it's pretty much a big giant love letter to Travis Kelce and his wood. But you know what? She's just being honest and she's being truthful, and I think that's just stuff that people can relate to. Love, relationships. A little smack talking on Actually Romantic, which is a great song. I love that song. I know she's talking about Charlie XCX, but she could be talking about anyone. She could apply that song to anyone, and I love how sarcastic she is in it. I think that's just some brilliant writing right there. But Opalite, my favorite song, still by far. I mean, there's just that song is just magic. That is just pop music magic. She killed it with that one. So, yeah, man, the album's dope. It's gonna keep crushing it. The Fate of Ophelia is already top 10 on like two radio formats. I added it to my station. I'm not even top 40 radio. My station's rhythmic. So we lean more, we're like a hybrid of pop and rhythmic. And we do dabble in some Taylor Swift. But again, like I felt like I was missing out if I didn't play something from this new album. It is the talk of the world. It is the talk of music. And we're a radio station, we're music. So I got to play some Taylor Swift. All right. That's what we're doing, man. And The Fate of Ophelia also broke a Spotify record. It was the most streamed song in a single week in Spotify history. So, at first that wasn't my favorite song. Again, I'm a big Opalite guy at first, but The Fate of Ophelia definitely grew on me, and it was also the first song on the album. So you get all those people listening to the album. That's the first song they're gonna play. You know what I mean? So there you go. Break those records. Artists out there, put your best song first. It'll help you reach number one. Hopefully. Now the big question is, what's next for Taylor Swift now that the album came out? Now she said she doesn't plan on touring. She's tired. I seen one of her interviews. She said she's tired. She doesn't plan on touring. We know the Super Bowl's out. She talked kind of about that. She said, yeah, me and Jay-Z, his team, we're cool. She's just really locked in on Travis playing football, which I'm sure that's true, but the fact that she admits that, Jay-Z's team reaches out, that shows there was that discussion. I also think pay attention to her at these football games, at Travis's games. I feel like those cameras, remember all those Swifty cams and all that stuff? I feel like those are way less now. Maybe she kind of wanted to cut the NFL off. If that Super Bowl deal really fell through about her, wanting ownership over halftime show performance at the Super Bowl, so maybe she's like cutting them off because she gave the NFL plenty of free promo by showing up at these games. You know what I mean? They used every advantage they could. They had all the cameras on her. They used her music and promos and all that stuff. So, I think the NFL got their money's worth out of Taylor Swift, and she was probably like, "Yeah, you know what? Y'all need to pay up." I don't blame her. I don't blame her. I even think this year, like even at a Kansas City game, they would always show her walking in the back. I think they were like blocking her entrance off. I think that happened already. So we'll keep an eye on that, and that'll give you a little hint as to what her relationship with the NFL is like moving forward. All right, that's it, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe. Leave your comments. Let me know your favorite songs on the album. What songs from Taylor Swift's new album would you love to hear on radio? Like I said, The Fate of Ophelia crushing that radio. I believe Opalite will be the next single. That's kind of some of the songs that we've been talking about with the label people. But let me know, what songs do you want to hear on the radio from Taylor Swift's new album, The Life of a Showgirl? Thanks for watching.